thing, or is it going to be? Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll need to see what. Yeah, I was a little confused on. It wasn't a corresponding verses, but there was the title of it. So I figured we're talking about the songs of the gopis today. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yesterday was um, yesterday was the Rasa dance introduction or Rasa dance. What was spoken?
It was after the intro.
So the gopis went to see Krishna. Yes. Then what happened? Go home. You've seen Vrindavan, so nice. Just like we're experiencing a full moon yesterday or 2 days ago before Punim. And so the atmosphere was so nice and conducive. And Krishna played his flute. And when Krishna plays his flute, he's so expert that he can call each and every gopi's name through the vibration of that flute. So they're a combination of the atmosphere, of, and if you had a chance on Gorpanim or on any full moon night, you walk around at night, especially if you have a forest. You walk, it's like this is amazing. You don't need a flashlight, you don't need, and it's just like a whole new atmosphere. It's like so different than walking in the same place in the daytime. So the atmosphere is conducive, and then they're hearing their names being called by the flute. And so they're going to Krishna, giving everything, going to Krishna. And then Krishna says, thanks for coming. Or anything else you want, or but you must be very careful. This is the forest. There's dangerous elements here. But then they persisted. How did they persist? Well, what were some of the ways they objected? Yeah. Called us right here. So no. What page is this going to be on?
179.
Oh, yeah, so you even went up to Krishna's disappearance. So then somehow there was a lot of conversation. We don't have time to summarize it. But basically Krishna seeing something. Sometimes we, from our vantage point, oh yeah, they were prideful. But the gopis, not exactly prideful as when we think of when I'm prideful. It's not exactly like that. But whatever it was, Krishna wanted to increase. And this is actually so wonderful. We're studying these particular pastimes just after Gorpanim, because this is what Lord Chaitanya had appeared for, to taste this specifically, this exact feelings that the gopis are feeling. This is what Lord Chaitanya has come to Prema Rasa Niras Swabhava. He wanted to taste this. That was his whole purpose of coming. And so when it goes, and we'll also refer back to Lord Chaitanya again a little later, but so how is this done? You just recite them. So I think 51, right? So take turns. So you have microphones, everybody set. Actually, the songs of the gopis, I believe there's 13 of them. And some of the acharyas say each one was spoken by another set of gopis. So we know there are practically unlimited amount of gopis that were engaged in this rasa dance, but they have their divisions, they have their different, and so each one of these is a particular voice, one of those voices. So divide however you normally do.
Time.
Okay. Do you want the 81, I think? Yes. Yeah.
We're gonna start.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to pay attention too, because this is in a state of, let's say, Mahabhav or intense Vipralamba, or separation, this mood of separation that Krishna, you're gone. We're remembering you by performing your pastimes, but Krishna is also, he's all hearing, he hears everything. So they want to express now, not just their expression of remembrance, but now they want to express their feelings. This is their feelings. This is what that are within them. They're expressing it, and they're expressing it in such a wonderful tone and meter. So did Kalakanta also mimic the meter of the songs of the gopis for these? No, he didn't. Try.
Song of separation starts. It's a similar name.
Oh, perhaps. Huh? So famed is dance. No, maybe not. Okay, so 51. Go ahead, pass the mic, and we'll dive deep and listen carefully.
The gopis staging dramas, inquiring from the trees, then came across some footprints and exclaimed excitedly, "This thunderbolt and lotus bloom and other telltale marks confirm that Krishna walked this way and passed us in the dark." They followed Krishna's footprints, but were soon disturbed to see young lady footprints intermixed. They cried in agony, "Some girl and Krishna walked here arm in arm," this indicates, like elephants who rest their trunks upon their loving mates. This girl has so pleased Krishna with her love and charming face that he forsook the rest of us and brought her to this place. In dust that Shiva, Lakshmi, and Brahma place on their heads, these sacred tracks of Krishna's feet confirm what we have said. These footprints cause us so much pain. Some girl came here alone to savor our unfeeling Krishna's lips upon her own. And look, her footprints disappear. Our Krishna is so sweet. He must have picked her up because these creepers hurt her feet. His footprints sink more deeply now. It all seems very clear. A strong romantic Krishna must have carried her from here. And look, that clever boy walked over there and set her down, then reached up for some flowers. See his toe prints in the ground? Then, after picking flowers, he induced the girl to sit. And look, he sat behind her, here so he could bend and fit those fragrant flowers one by one, embellishing her hair. "I now crown you the goddess of the forest," he declared. The gopis had indeed detected Krishna's acts of love. "Dear king, you must remember Krishna always stays above those stale and common acts of lust that merely please the flesh. He's fully self-contained. His love is selfless, pure, and fresh."
The gopis grew bewildered as the evidence unfurled that Krishna had rejected them for one selected girl, but they did not see pride had also caused that girl to fall, when she thought, "He left the others just for me, I'm the best of all." Believing herself foremost of the gopis, she declared, "I've walked enough. Please pick me up and carry me somewhere." So Krishna crouched and touched his shoulder. "Climb aboard, my dear." In shock, the poor girl shouted out, for he had disappeared. "Oh, master, lover, dearmost friend, where are you? Are you here? Oh, mighty armed, your wretched servant prays you'll reappear." The other gopis, trailing Krishna, found their shaken friend, her lover's sudden absence far too much to comprehend. She said, "At first he honored me in many different ways, but I grew proud, and then he left." The gopis were amazed. Again, they followed Krishna's trail in hopes to reunite. But soon the forest thickened, blocked the moon, and hid its light. They acted, thought, and talked of Krishna, following his tracks. The darkness quickly stopped their search and forced them to go back. Returning to the riverbank, unmindful of their homes, in love they sang for Krishna in morose but hopeful tones.
Have this side.
So famed is Vrindavan since you have appeared. The goddess of fortune herself resides here. We searched everywhere, yet you hide from our view. Dear Krishna, please come, our lives hinge upon you. The beauty we find in your glance goes beyond a full-blooming lotus in still autumn pond. Your absence will kill us, we'll never adjust. Is this not the same thing as murdering us? You saved us when Kaliya poisoned the lake. You saved us from Aga, the man-eating snake. You saved us from thunderbolts interlet fly. Will you now abandon your servants to die? O heart-dwelling witness within every one, you're more than your father and mother's dear son. You rescued the Yadus at others' request. Will you not neglect those who love you the best? When woes of this world drive us soul to your feet, your lotus-like hand makes their fear obsolete. Your hand holds the goddess of fortunes, it's said. Beloved, please lay that same hand on our heads. Great hero, you free Raja's people from pain. Your smile intervenes when your servants grow vain. Take us as your servants and show us the grace embodied in your lovely lotus-like face. Your lotus feet, Lakshmi's abode, aborts. Your lotus feet, Lakshmi's abode, absorbs sins, yet chase after cows when the herd must go in. Your feet, which you pressed upon Kaliya's head, should favor our passionate breast now instead. O lotus-eyed Krishna, your speech is so sweet, they captured the minds of the learned elite. Your words cause our ethical judgment to slip. Restore, dear hero, with your pleasing lips. The words that you speak and descriptions of you will cleanse those who hear till their sins are removed. Compassionate persons who speak on such themes are gracious and worthy of endless esteem. Keep going.
First chair. But yes, keep going.
Your smiles and sweet glances, the intimate games and private discussions we love to exchange are pleasing, auspicious, and sweet memories, but now, our dear cheater, they're just miseries. Our mind grows disturbed when we think how you lead the cows to the pasture to forage and feed. Your soft lotus feet must be pricked by the blades of brambles and bushes that grow on the way. And when you come home, we observe that your face is coated with dust that the cow's footsteps raise. Your lotus-like visage and bluish-black hair awaken our minds to our loving affairs. Brahma seals your feet, which fulfill our desires, the jewels of earth. They're all one requires. To me, do you join in a time of distress? Please place those two soft lotus feet on our breast. The sweetness that flows from your lips feeds our lust and renders attachment and anguish to dust. We envy your flutes who's tragically placed. Bestow on your servants that nectar kissed taste. When we cannot see you, a moment appears to stretch in duration for thousands of years. Your loveliness shames the Creator, we think, for He gave us that leads that forces us to blink.
Infallible Krishna, you know where we come. What other deceiver would do what you've done? You walk out on us, thought we gave up our men to hear your sweet flute in the night once again. When we recall pledges you secretly made, your glance and your smile and the love they conveyed. Or think of your chest, which is Lakshmi's abode, our lust leaves us cursed on a dangerous road. When you walk among us, we're happy and blessed, and every Vrindavanite shed his distress. A drop of that medicine surely will ease the tormented hearts of your pure devotees. The ground in the forest with stones and rough sand is painful indeed for your feet to withstand. Dear Krishna, our breasts are both tender and smooth. Please rest your feet there, and we all shall be soothed.
So, what can be said of these expressions of love? And to what extent can we even touch them? Wanted to actually start. I usually bring things and I never read them, but wanted to read it first, so I can read it just. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he is thinking of Leelas and Krishna's Rasa Leela specifically, he's entering it deeply. And he is also experiencing these feelings, these of love. And so he's singing this in the mood of the gopis. And he's by hearing Krishna's flute, by seeing his picture, and hearing other persons describe his wonderful qualities, my heart has become stricken with remembrance of my attachment to him. Possessed with all the symptoms of madness, I wildly run along with other gopis in the direction of Krishna's flute music. I've gone to a grove in the forest bowers for the lovers' rendezvous. I've paid no heed to the prohibitions of my family members. I've completely ignored all my insurmountable household duties, and I have not even considered what is religious or irreligious activity. Going to the bank of the Yamuna and addressing all the gopis there, I have inquired from them news about the whereabouts of our most dearly beloved. Giving up all fear in my heart, I enter into the forest following the direction of the flute's vibration. Just as a river flows towards the sea, I irresistibly run like a very swift current, thus proving my chastity. Quickly reaching the forest bowers, I finally come into the presence of Sri Krishna in my mood of total self-surrender. And he stops. He's about to reveal. Then he said, "Oh, why is my pen so weak and feeble?" He's writing these feelings. Why is my pen weak and why won't it move about any further? It cannot possibly express the commencement of the transcendental lovers' meeting. What is causing my heart to tremble and throb? My mind has no capability to describe the essence of their ecstatic meeting, their enjoyment together, their separation, or any other pastimes. So such a devotee who is clearly experiencing love for Krishna. He is saying, even I have no capability, or yet I have no capability. Only the most unfortunate persons cannot understand the essence of the truth of the Rasa Leela, just as a hog cannot appreciate a pearl necklace. Considering the benefit of those who have no capacity for hearing about such things and understanding that this is not the time to write about it, I have thus ended my kirtan here. So this careful, very careful presentation of Krishna consciousness by our acharyas, and here even Sukadev is mentioning this to King Parikshit. The gopis had indeed detected Krishna's love. They were fully absorbed in Krishna's love. But dear king, you must always remember that Krishna stays above those stale and common acts of lust that merely please the flesh. He's fully self-contained. His love is selfless and pure. And this is what we gleaned from the 9th canto, that and the emphasis that Krishna is not an ordinary human being, and his activities are not ordinary. And when he is dancing with the gopis, and when he is playing with them, which to us resembles the playing of boy and girl, it is not. And again and again and again, the acharyas are warning us, be careful. Don't ever consider Krishna is like that of an ordinary person. So when we hear these expressions of love, these are pure. This is the purest. And this is what extraordinarily, these very expressions where the gopis, they cannot even tolerate the blinking of an eye. How many times do we blink in a minute, in an hour, in a day? We can't even count how many times we do. But each blink for them, in nimation, it is like a yugayitam nimation. It is like a 12 years or more. And so we can't even relate to that. I mean, when we think of 12 years, well, geez, where were we 12 years ago? We have to really think about it. But that's 12 years for them. when they're separated. And not just all the Brajavasis. The coward boys, when they're running through the forest, you can just imagine, they're running through the forest and there's so many trees. And every time a tree blocks their path to Krishna, their spine like tingles. Where's Krishna? Oh, okay, there he is. Wait. They're also experiencing this separation. So why is this separation so important? Because you could say, why is Krishna why is he separating himself from the gopis? What is the quality of separation that is so important in our Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy and understanding of Krishna consciousness, which is considered the highest understanding of Krishna consciousness, is that love and separation. Why is it? What is the quality? What do you think? What are some of the things in separation, the qualities of separation that may make it so exalted? Amazing.
The appreciation for the person increase. Like
Yeah.
I really, and it's more easy to always remember like
Yeah.
good things.
Prabhupada gives a very simple example of this. Imagine you have no money. And then, and in one moment, somebody says, here is, I don't know what nomination he gave, but in today's world, here's $10 billion. And they put it on this plate for fun. And this is yours. And you're thinking, and immediately your mind's, and then 1 minute later, they take it away. Now, before that $10 billion was yours, you didn't think about it so much. I mean, we kind of, but then after having it and it's gone, you're thinking, wow, I could have done so much. Where is that $10 billion? Sometimes even $10. Where's $10? So that's like just a drop of the glimpse into the appreciation of what and this is technically called sambhog. Sambhog is their meeting. So they're meeting Krishna and they're dancing with Krishna and they're just having the greatest time. But then Krishna leaves. And then that sambhog turns into vipralamba, turns into separation. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And this is what Lord Chaitanya came to teach. That mood of that loving sentiment of the devotees, the pure devotees. I have an excerpt I wanted to play for you in a moment, and I think it's wonderful how Srila Prabhupada presents this mood of separation as the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. Quite extraordinary. We don't usually hear this, but he's saying this. Of course, this is in a room conversation, and it's not. I don't say that it's the absolute. That now this is our one and only. But he's saying this is what Krishna consciousness is about. Krishna Bhakti. Can't remember, but the essence of Krishna consciousness is that this uninterrupted meditation and thoughts of Krishna embody the devotee. And so that happens when one is in these feelings of separation. Because Uddhava, and this is what Krishna wanted Uddhava to learn when he went to Vrindavan. He sent Uddhava with a message to Vrindavan to see the gopis in this state of extreme separation. Here they're separated just for a moment, who knows how long, an hour or two in the Rasa dance. But Krishna comes back and the Rasa dance happens, so don't worry about that. But he wanted Uddhava to see the topmost separation, and to give comfort to the gopis. So when Uddhava arrives in Vrindavan, he sees devastation, really. And one of the verses, the translation, Tava katam ritam sapta jivanam. Can we bring that up? Can we bring the Sanskrit? Do you have that? Yes. Let's bring that up for a moment. Oh, I should have told you in advance. It's text number 9. And let's go ahead and, because another very wonderful quality of these songs of the gopis is a beautiful tune that we can sing, and we'll sing 2 lines at a time. So I'll say 2 and then you repeat, and then I'll say the last 2. Tava katamritam tapta jivanam kavi biriditam kalmasapaham. Tapta jivanam kavi biriditam kalmasapaham. Shravana Mangalam Srimaratatam Bhuvigrinantiye Bhuri De Jana. Shravana Mangalam Srimaratatam Bhuvigrinantiye Bhuri De Jana. So it's so sweet. In all the songs you can sing to that tune. And there's been some nice recordings by it. But tava katamritam, the nectar, the amritam of words spoken about you, it is life-giving. Tapta jiva, it is giving life. It is giving us our very life. So when Uddhava is seeing the gopis, they look like they're losing their life. And Srila Sanatana Goswami, commenting on this verse, he says there's another meaning to Tava Katamritam. So he says it can be read Kata Mrityum. So that when the gopis, because they're feeling separation, when they hear about Krishna, it just causes more. Just it's the same example. If you had that $1 billion, and every time you hear other success and other people talking about money, you just say, "Oh, I had it, but it's not there. It's causing great distress." So Uddhava, he is going and he's trying to console the gopis, and he's thinking, oh, they just need to understand that Krishna is everywhere. And he's trying to teach them Paramatma or Brahman, a little bit of that. And he say, Krishna is everywhere. And the gopis almost laugh that our problem isn't that we don't see Krishna everywhere. Our problem is that we see Krishna everywhere and he's not here. This is what they're. So the katam mrityu, it is painful sometimes. So this separation, how does this benefit us? That because in thinking about it, we are separated. We are naturally separated from Krishna right now. And we are experiencing pain. We're experiencing great anguish. And it's not specifically, well, yes, you could say, yes, it is directly because we're separate from Krishna. But in our minds, we're thinking it's because I'm separated from success, from wealth, from fame, from beauty, from all these things. That's my suffering. And so we suffer again and again through the cycle of birth and death. We're going through it over and over again. We're suffering and we're suffering. And the real suffering, though we don't even know, is our separation from Krishna. And so when we learn that is the real, to understand we're separated from Krishna, not separated from the money or separated from the fame or separated from the beauty. No, we're separated from Krishna. Then that brings it opens up the door for the devotee to now engage into activities that will bring Krishna more. So then the kata becomes katamritam. It becomes the nectar for soothing the anguished soul, the tapta jivanam. It becomes nectar. And so when we hear words, these wonderful expressions of the gopis, we are feeling so wonderful that, oh, how wonderful it is. But then we still have this critic or this doubter in our head that is saying, well, is it like the way I feel? Is it the way boys and girls? No, it's completely different. So Prabhupada, in this And I heard this, I heard it a long time ago, but then I heard it again recently about 3 weeks ago, and I thought, oh boy, this is quite extraordinary. And I thought it would be great to have a chance to use it, and then today's class, oh, this is a great place to use it. So let me give a little background. This is a room conversation in 1973, I think, and so you can bring the front page up. Don't bring the second page up. Hey, first page. Jeez. So this is a room in 1973 in London. This is a room conversation with George Harrison. So we know, well, some of us know, but I don't know if everybody knows that he was a Beatle, and I don't know if anybody knows the Beatles anymore, but they were pretty popular in the day. So, and then the Shankar, George had a great friendship with Ravi Shankar, who was a master sitar player. And so Ravi's there, his wife is there, Kamala, their daughter, is there. And Prabhupada is just giving it. This is like an hour and 31-minute recording. He's just giving this time to because he sees George's specifically, he sees his inclination to Krishna, and he sees how influential he could be in helping spread Krishna consciousness. So he's giving the time. And so George is because George also revered Ravi Shankar, at least on the musical side. So he wanted Prabhupada's approval also of Ravi Shankar. So anyway, there's this room conversation that's going on. There's a lot of katha in the beginning. And then George wants to play that. He produced some songs by the Shankars from his production line of music. And it's amazing. Probably, and you have to imagine that you're sitting in this room with Prabhupada because he's listening to about 20 minutes worth of these different recordings, these different songs, and they're all very nice songs. But then this last song, and I think this is like a second version because this song also appeared earlier. There's a Hindi version of this song that they played just before it. So they're like 5 songs they play in a row. And so we're going to play the chorus part of the last song that they played. And then we're going to hear Prabhupada comment on it. Now, he calls this song a perfect bhajan. And 3 or 4 times it's such a nice bhajan, such a nice song. And it's expressing these expressions, you could say, of the gopis, their songs. And I remember also, for those of you who were born in the movement and grew up with Mother Magrakshi's songs. Anybody? Any young? Oh, we used to have more. How about parents? Are there any parents that used to play it for the children? Anyway, there was this one song that I remember when my children were teething, and when a baby or a child is teething, you have to walk them. You have to walk around with them, and you have to comfort them, and you have to sing to them. So I always used to sing this one Mrgakshi. I loved it, and somehow or other, I specifically remember Srivas also, he calmed when he heard it. So, and if you know it, you could sing along with it. It's our dear Krishna, you are the life and soul, even of the lotus flowers. Without you, we are also crying. Without you, we are also dying. And you just sing it over and over. It's such a beautiful, and it's one of these verses of the songs of the gopis, the gopi Geet. And so again, it's expressing this: without you, Krishna, we're dying. We're in separation. But what is that? What is that death? That mrityum, that death is death of what? It is death of any aspiration for anything else except for Krishna. So that death, that separation is a purification. And so Prabhupada similarly reacts to this song. And okay, now we can go to the next slide. Getting ready to hear it. So this, the part I'm playing is only the chorus, which is the first line. I am missing you, oh Krishna, where are you? And this goes on, and we'll play like almost 1 minute of it just to get into the mood. And those are the only other 2 lines in it. Though I can't see you, I hear your flute all around. Please come, wipe my tears and make me smile. So this is the bhajan that Prabhupada says is a perfect bhajan. Of course, I'm not asking you to go out and find the Sankara songs. I don't even know. I don't remember seeing this out there and I was a child of the 60s and 70s. And I was a very big fan of George Harrison, but I don't remember this. But in any case, it's quite intriguing. So when the music ends and Prabhupada starts speaking, then you can go to the next and then follow the conversation. We'll have the actual transcript here so you can follow along. Let's hope that it is connecting and the volume is at a good volume. I'll probably have to turn down the song part a little bit. Just can you put full screen, please? Not a great. Oh Krishna, I am missing you. Oh Krishna. So that again, that went on for like 5 minutes, and then here's where Prabhupada begins to speak.
Verse. हे राधे ब्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सूनक कुतः श्री गोवर्धन पादपतले कालिंदिव नेक्कुतः घोषंताविति सर्वतो ब्रजपुरे खेदै महाविवल वंदे रूप सनातन जगजुगौ श्री जीव गोपाल. All the Goswamis, they were executing their devotional service down. And this is their devotional attitude. Hey Radhe, O Radharani, Brajadevike, O the gopis, Hey Radhe, Brajadevike, Hey Nanda Sunakuta, O the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, where you are all. Where you are all. Because Krishna is always engaged with the gopis. So the Goswami is searching. Now I have come to Vrindavan. Where you are? Hey Radhe Brajadevi Ke Chalalite He Nanda Suna Kutaha. Kutaha means where you are. Just like the same thing. Krishna, where you are. It's very nice. Birah. This bhajan is recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to feel separation for Krishna. That is best bhajan. To feel separation. The more you feel, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated, for want of Krishna is becoming mad, ecstatic. This is Radharani's attitude. When Krishna went to Vrindavan, Mathura, leaving the gopis in Vrindavan. So Krishna knew that all the gopis will be overwhelmed on account of my separation. So he sent Uddhava to pacify them. At that time, Radharani displayed just like mad. So these songs are following the footsteps of Radharani, feeling the separation of Krishna. I think this morning I have explained one verse. Pai Dina Dayatra Natha He Mathura Natha Kadavalo. So this bhajan in separation of Krishna, and that is our Gauriya Vaishnava philosophy, to feel separation from Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda Virahena Jugaitam Nimishena Chakshusha Prabhishaitam Sunnaitam Jagat Sadvam Govinda Virahena Jugaitam Nimishena. In one moment he is appearing to me just like 12 years. Jugaitam Nimishena Chakshusha Prabhishaitam, and tears coming down just like torrents of rain. Sunnaitam Jagat Sarvam. The whole world appears to be vacant. Why? Govinda Virahena, on account of separation from Govinda. So this bhajan is very perfect bhajan. Feeling separation of Krishna. Krishna where you are. Krishna where you are. This is our bhajan. It is not that Krishna, I am now saying my business is finished. No. We should always feel separation. That is best. That will advance us in Krishna consciousness very nicely. That is very nicely sung. So always feel separation of Krishna. That will make our life very successful in understanding Krishna.
Oh, wow. Look at how the times. Is Prashant ready? Oh. Prabhupada pizza.